Sample question 1. Hopefully you can read this. And I put up some longer questions because this is very typical of, say, a little case scenario that you would see, and you're going to have to pick out the real big pieces of this, of the test question, to say, hey, what do I really need to be focusing on here, and where are they going? So John Hill, our CFA, he's been working for Advisors Inc. for 8 years. That's straightforward stuff. He's about to start his own money management business. So there's our first key. He's going to go into his own business here, right? And he's given his 2-week notice of his resignation from his employer. A few days before his resignation takes effect, on his lunch hour, he takes out a loan from a bank on behalf of his new business and used the money to buy some new office equipment for his business. Since he engaged in these transactions while still an employee of Advisors, Hill violated standard 4A. Now, I did put the numbering thing in here, but you'll see in the answers it's pretty straightforward, by doing any one of these. So I'm going to give you all a second. Read over this again. I gave you some little tips here. He's about to start his own business, gives his notice on his lunch break, takes out a loan, and goes and buys some stuff for his new business. So you got to ask yourself first up, did he violate a standard? What would come to mind? He's going into his own business for himself. You know, can he do these actions without violating the standard? That would be key, violating a standard. So that'd be your first way to ask yourself that question. So I'm going to give you just a second to look that up. Now, I know darn well if I go in that chat window and I decide to click something, I'm going to mess everything up. So I'm not going to do that. So, but feel free in the chat, throw a letter in there. I'd love to see what you guys think would be a good answer here. I know, against my better judgment, I'm going to come over here to this chat thing and mess it up. I see there's some questions here. I see also there's something about buying the book. Amazon's a good place to buy the book. That's where I bought my standards, both my books, actually, 11th and the 12th edition. All right. What do you think the answer here is? A, breaching his duty of loyalty to his current employer by preparing to go into competitive business. B, neither taking out the loan nor buying the equipment. Or C, preparing to undertake independent practice before giving notice to his current employer of his intent to resign. Pretty easy question. It is going to be B. So the standard of practice under this particular number here, it really states that a departing employee is quote unquote generally free to make arrangements. And that would be what I'd write in my notepad right there. Make arrangements or preparations to go into a competitive business before terminating the relationship with the employee's employer, provided that such preparations do not breach the duty of loyalty. Remember, he has a duty of loyalty to his employer. I touched on that just a little bit ago. But these actions don't breach that. So he can go ahead and do that. And he performed them on his own time, right? On his lunch break. So that's in my eyes, these are fantastic examples of little case scenarios, little stories that you would see. And about, the length is even good, where you're gonna have to decipher a few bits of information.